Hi, everyone, and welcome to Anzel's webinar, Increase Engagement with New App Features. We're going to wait a moment for some other people to join us. And before we get started, I want to mention we're going to put up a poll over in the right-hand sidebar. So when you see that pop up, go ahead and answer it. And then we'll start with introductions in just a moment. All right, so we'll get started with introductions. My name is Allison Mincher. I am a Client Account Manager and Special Projects Coordinator here at Onsel, and I have been here for over 7 years. As a Special Projects Coordinator, I mostly project manage our larger, more complex app projects, and it's really fun. I can't wait to show you guys all the new features that we've launched.
Hi, I'm Alora, Client Account Manager here with Onsel as well, and I've been with Onsel for about 3 years now, and I work primarily with our public lands accounts.
Hello, my name is Josh. I've been with Onsel since March. Before being a Client Account Manager, I was involved pre-sale and onboarding of new clients.
Great, so I see a lot of you have filled out the poll. It looks like most of you kind of know your way around the app builder, so I'm excited for you guys to see a little bit about what's new, and feel free to use the left side, or I'm sorry, the right-hand sidebar to ask questions via the questions or the chat options throughout the webinar. As we see those, we'll try to get to them and answer them quickly, but we'll also save some time at the end to answer some of those questions aloud. If you want to wait until the end, kind of pay attention to the webinar, you can do that, but if a question comes up that you don't want to forget, feel free to type it in over there. All right, so what we are going to cover today is the updated look of our app builder. We'll walk you through what's changed and why. We're going to cover analytics, so why those are important for the success of your app, what you can learn in there, and how to get that data. We're going to talk about organizing your content through the folders feature that's relatively new. You may not be aware of what that is and how to use it. And we'll be showcasing the directions options as well. So you can learn ways to allow your visitors to navigate the on-site experience through the app. We'll talk about using the updated list widget to create previous next buttons and organize your menus, and how to increase engagement, interactivity through our new badges feature. So the first builder update that you'll notice if you logged in recently is this brand new look. It's a cleaner, easier on the eyes, everything that you know how to use, all of the widgets, all the features, all the pages, they're still in the same place. Again, it's just a fresher look, a little bit more modern. As part of this update, you will see updated icons in our menus for widgets and project settings, just to kind of identify what those are. You'll also see updated navigation icons that you can use in your footer navigation bar in your app. So if one of the things you want to do is look at updating your app and giving it a refreshed look and feel, you can update your icons here, select some of the new ones, see what we have to offer in here, and that's just a really quick and easy change that you can make to spruce up your app. Also, you'll notice that in the project settings, we now have a tabbed view, so you can access all of the different sections of project settings here by clicking on the tabs. As I mentioned before, we've got updated icons to identify what those different sections are. So before, it was in kind of this menu view, and every project settings section was on a separate page, and here you can click between them a lot more easily with this updated look and feel. And next, Alora is going to tell you guys a little bit about the updates we've made to analytics and why that's important.
Hello. So we are very excited to release our full analytics experience for web and native apps that previously only included the web and the phone stats from the dashboard, and the native stats had to be sent by request. So we did give our web analytics a facelift, but it still displays the same important information, including visitor information, trends, and page views. Now, in addition to the web stats, if your subscription includes a native app, you'll see a link from the dashboard. This will include some metrics as well that are the same as the web apps, and that allows you to compare and combine stats for a full overview of user engagement. We've also added tracking for our push notifications. After you send a push, you can see how many phones it was delivered to and what percentage of those people clicked on it to engage with the push notification. Our new analytics help you understand visitors and make changes to meet their needs, see similar stats across both platforms, engage your users' interaction, and then you can view trends over seasons and over time. Now Josh will tell you about folders.
Exhibits, and it's great for large apps to use in-app downloads, which we'll get to in a moment. And the folders are available on all plans. Just ask your client account manager to turn them on for you. And so here is what folders will look like inside of the builder. You can see that the pages are searchable within folders. They're also, you can drag and drop, and you can copy pages just like before to be added into multiple folders. And with folders enabled, you have the ability for in-app downloads, which these can be used by the user to download individual tours within a single app to minimize the storage being used on their device, and they only need to download the tour that they're using at that time. This is an add-on feature that requires an additional fee, so we'll work with you on that. And here is what in-app downloads will look like in action. You can download the Texas Time Travel app to see how it works for yourself. You'll download the bones of the entire app and then download the tours as you need. And next, Alora will talk to you about in-app directions.
Hi everyone, I'm actually helping someone get onto the webinar right now, so give me one
And thanks to everyone that's pointed out some of the issues with mics being muted. We'll try to stay on top of it. Anything else, just feel free to use that.
Okay, I'm gonna send you an email now.
You guys are.
Thanks. Yep, bye. Okay, sorry about that. So for in-app directions, we've added 2 new ways for your visitors to navigate from one stop to another within the app. So with the Google Map widget, you can select the map options and then enable turn-by-turn directions within the app. So when your user selects a stop from the map and they click on it, it will show them the directions below. The other way that you can add directions is with the button widget. So when you click add a new button, you'll then click on link, and from there you can select, or you can enter directions in the app. They would click on that and then it will open their default navigation app, either Google or Apple. You can choose which direction widget works best for you, and you can even mix and match throughout your app to serve your visitors best. And now Josh again will tell you about the 2-column list widget.
So the 2-column list widget can be used as a previous and next button, or just as a site list as it had previously been, but with 2 lists instead of the single one. It's a great aesthetic update, and if you're using it for previous and next buttons, it's nice where before only the button widget was able to be that link between the pages. Now it's this 2-column list as well. And the 2-column list is available on all plans, and turning it on is as simple as checking the 2-column list box inside of the builder when you're editing a list. And as you're editing, items in the list can be dragged and dropped to rearrange as needed. And next, Allison will discuss badges with you.
So badges is an exciting new feature that we launched earlier this year. A couple of great examples of apps that currently use badges are the Junior Ranger quest, which was done by Mount Rushmore Society, and the City of Independence Find Your Independence app. So we'll send out some links if you want to download those apps and check them out. It's going to be the best way to see what the end user experience is for badges. But essentially, a badge is just a visual, a graphic achievement that users can unlock in the app. And this can be done in a game. So it really helps kind of gamify your app or create that unique engagement. You can use it to kind of navigate. So, you know, if you have a game experience, the user can find the badge that they want to earn and then go to the location on site where they can earn that badge or complete the challenge or access a tour stop in order to earn the badge. And this is available on all of our on-sale plans. So whether you have an audio guide or a pro app, all of those plans can be made a little bit more interactive through this feature. You can see some screenshots of what the user experience is. These are from Mount Rushmore's Junior Ranger Quest game. So you'll see that the badges page here shows in full color all of the badges that have been earned. There's a progress bar at the top of this page so they can see exactly how many badges or what the how far you are until you've unlocked them all. If you tap on a grayed out unearned badge that still shows up on this page here, then you can tap on a link where you can go in the app to begin the challenge, or the page that you can go to where you can actually earn that badge. And then typically the start of that challenge might be maybe an individual tour or a series of questions that they have to answer correctly. And then, at the end of that series of pages, that's where they get to the page that actually triggers that badge when they earn it. So in addition to being able to use the badges page to navigate a game or a tour and see where they want to go, they can also use a list or a map to navigate through challenges and different locations. So you can build out a game similar to how you would build out an app experience. There's multiple ways to navigate, whether you're using the badges page to find where you want to go, whether you're browsing a list of activities, challenges, or tour stops, or whether you want to use the map to geographically find the location that you want to go to. So in the builder, to set up badges, you would go to Project Settings and then select Badges. Here, any of your existing badges will show up, and just like all the other widgets and features of the builder, you click on an existing badge to edit it, or you can click on the Add Badge button to add a new one, and we'll walk through a little bit of what that process is. So at the top of the page, when you add a new button, you'll have to give it a name. So this is how the badge is identified. So in this case, we have the Rattlesnake Disc badge. You'll want an image to be associated with every single badge, right? Because they're very visual, graphic in nature. So badges work best when they're all the same size and shape, dimensions, and they have a similar look and feel. So they don't have to be custom drawn cartoons or custom designed graphics. You can use just photos of your collection or photos of your site, your points of interest, just as long as they kind of have a similar look and feel, and you can make them all square in the same dimensions. We recommend 400 by 400 pixel squares. Those are really going to make an ideal badge graphic. So you'll upload your graphic or your image for the badge right here, and then you'll select the page that it triggers. So a page always triggers a badge in the on-sale app. How a user lands on the page is up to you. They can get to a page by answering a multiple choice question correctly, or perhaps after they submit a survey, they could go to a page that earns a badge as kind of a thank you for submitting feedback. You can land on a page through a location alert, like GPS alerts or beacons. That's another way to get to the page. And then once they get to the designated page, then it triggers that badge and it'll appear in their badges page. And that's how they kind of collect them. So also as you're adding a badge, you'll need to add an unearned help text. So this is the text that appears when a user taps on an unearned badge on their badges page, when it's grayed out. So it might say, discover this artifact at stop 11 to earn this badge, because you want to get them to that tour stop in order to earn it. So you're kind of guiding them where to go. It could be the start page of a series of questions that they have to answer, and you can link to it right underneath the help text box where it says start page. And then you can also give that start button a custom label if you want to here as well. So basically, when they haven't earned the badge yet, they tap on it, you're telling them how to earn it. After they've earned the badge, when it first pops up, you'll want to give a heading there. And this is kind of the congratulations, you earned this badge. So in this case, we've used, you've discovered the rattlesnake disc. And then the body message will appear underneath the heading when they first earn the badge. So this message can be used for educational purposes to tie into the history or whatever it is that you're wanting them to learn on site, just to reinforce, you know, maybe information from the tour. You can tie it into the body of this message here. In this case, we'll explain a little bit about the rattlesnake disc and why it's relevant. And then here you can view some examples of badge pages and some of the elements that I just explained how to set up. So when they first view a collection of badges, they're all grayed out when they're unearned, and that progress bar will tell you how many, you know, how many badges there are and how many you've completed. You'll see the earned badge pop up. So this is when you first get to a page that triggers a badge. It'll pop up this with the heading and then that body text, you know, of information if you want to include that. The collected badge will show up in full color, you'll see here. And then that unearned gray badge is where you can get the help text telling you where to go. And you'll see that in the far right screenshot here. So we went through this all pretty quickly. If you have questions, feel free to type them into the chat, the questions box. We'll get to them right now. If there's anything you want explained in more detail, feel free to reach out to us. You can pick the client account manager you like best. You can use our email addresses here to contact us directly. Give us a call. We answer our phones, even when we're on a webinar. The number is 585-419-9844. Press 1 for customer service and you'll reach one of us. You can also email info@onsell.com if you have a question that you know, you don't want to ask right now on the webinar, or maybe you think of something later. If you want to schedule a call with us to walk through any of these in more detail, reach out to us. That's what we're here for. So we can pick a few questions from the sidebar here. If there's any that have popped up that haven't, you know, we haven't addressed during the webinar, we'll just pull those and answer them right now if you guys would like. So I see that Crystal asked if users can share the badges to social media. So right now, we don't have a way to incorporate individual badges with our social media share widget, but we are looking at making updates to the badges feature. So right now, badges are live, but we're going to be making some updates to incorporate them more into like a widget experience than project settings. That's a down the road update, and I'm going to pass along that feedback about social media sharing because I think that would be really fun for users to do. So unfortunately, the answer right now is not at the moment, but we'll be sure to look into that. Eva asked, how are the badges designed to match the theme of your game? So that's really up to you. So when you kind of decide what you want to do with your game, that's really going to dictate the badges that you use. And the graphics that you use for your badges are entirely up to you. The two examples that I mentioned early on in the badges conversation, the City of Independence and Mount Rushmore's games, they both worked with us and our game designer to come up with a concept, and then we did artwork to kind of match the theme of that. So for Find Your Independence, download that app, check it out. It's really fun and really unique. In that game, it's all based on the Oregon Trail. So you're introduced to Matt, the shopkeeper, and you want to go on an Oregon Trail adventure, which makes sense if you're in Independence, Missouri, but you don't have any supplies. So all of the badges represent supplies that you need to go on your Oregon Trail adventure. And in order to earn them, you have to go to various historic sites that are owned by the city and complete challenges there to earn the badge. So in that case, all of their badges were custom designed graphics to represent those Oregon Trail supplies. And they do have a custom theme. So our designers actually crafted a unique look and feel of their app. So it's all kind of tied together. But basically, just come up with a concept for your game and then pull graphics to use for your badges that are consistent with that theme or that concept that you want to use. So hopefully that answers your question, Eva, and talks a little bit more about kind of big picture thinking about badges and how you want to use them. Yeah, Rhonda pointed out that some of the questions might be over in the chat, so I'm going to click over and check there. Josh or Laura, if you see any too that you want to pull out and answer, go right ahead.
I just noticed the one about the size, so wait, let me find it again, make sure that okay, all of the new features and the impact of the size. So analytics, they don't have a role that's in your dashboard. The badges, they don't take up too much space. The only thing that really affects that is the images themselves, the text and the triggering itself doesn't take up any additional space. The directions, the same thing goes. Not a whole lot of extra space that would take up. And folders, actually, if you decide to do the in-app download part of that, reduces the size of your app. So you can just have your users download certain parts, or if they're in a large park and there's only they're only going to one section of it, they can download just the content for that section. So I answered that question.
Yeah. I see a bunch of people asking if the webinar is going to be available. If you are here and viewing the webinar, or if you've registered for it, you will receive an email with a link to watch the replay at any time. So you'll definitely be able to access that. I saw a question about, so this is from Kat Pratt. Sounds like you've got some fabulous wildflowers, but they're not always in one location. So could you still use badges? Would they be applicable? Absolutely. So one thing I want to mention about the Junior Ranger Quest game is that it's designed to actually be played off-site. So it's a companion to the on-site tour, which is available for rent and on-site devices when you do visit Mount Rushmore National Monument. So you can actually rent the device, listen to the entire audio tour. It's fantastic. And then you have the game as a supplement to that. But the free app that's available for anyone to download is just the game, and it's kind of written so that you can learn a little bit about the site and play it entirely offsite. So if you want to share some of your flowers, share information about them, show pictures of them, and make it interactive, you can certainly incorporate that into a game that they don't necessarily have to be on location to play. And then the nice thing, going back to Mount Rushmore Junior Ranger Quest, is that if you do visit, or I'm sorry, if you download the game and you earn all of the badges before you visit, you can actually bring your device on site, show it to a ranger, and earn your physical Junior Ranger badge. So you could do something like that where you could showcase the flowers that maybe aren't in bloom or aren't on site there at the time, but you can still incorporate them into your game somehow and use badges for that. It's jumping around a little bit, but Bill Velosin, I saw you had a great question and then I lost it. Let me see if I can get it to pop back up. It was about badge triggering. Did anybody else catch that?
I saw a couple. There was also a question about getting feedback. So can you receive an alert when the user collects the badges? Let's see, where's Bill's? Oh, arrival on the page trigger. I think you kind of answered that, Allison. They can choose to skip that badge if they want to. They don't have to do that part. They can just take the normal tour without that.
Yeah. The nice thing about using the badges to navigate is that they can just pick any badge they want to. If they tap on an unearned badge and it gives them the help message of where to go to earn it, they can just close it and go to a different one if they decide they don't want to do it at that time. Let me jump back over to the questions from the chat and see if there's anything new in here. So Dawn asked if, in a broader sense, do we have any suggestions on how to get more people to your tour? Absolutely. And I think this is a great topic for a future webinar because we could spend a whole 30 minutes on promoting your app. But basically, the more you do, the better. Leverage social media. That's a big one. If you're not using your social media channels and your website to tell everybody that you have an app available, make sure that they know it's there, and then how to get to it. If it's a web app, you're going to want to make sure and have the link everywhere you can put it, link to it on your social media, link to it on your website. Incorporate QR codes. They're not going away. They're still functional and they still serve a great purpose when it comes to just quickly accessing content. On-site signage is a big one. And then, lately we're having a lot more success with promo cards, just little business card size handouts with the tour information. they're a lot easier to pick up and to hang on to and to share than, say, a rat card or brochure, and they're very affordable. So just a few things off the top of my head. If you're not doing those already, I encourage you to. But we can have a follow-up conversation, Don, to figure out maybe what's a really good marketing solution for your site, because we want to make sure as many people are using your tours as possible.
And I see there's the question in reference to in-app directions. We have a large site with landmarks that are not on Google Maps. Is there a capability to work with OnSell to get in-app directions? So if they don't have physical locations, you can use the GPS coordinates. And I can follow up with you on that, but I believe you just put them in the latitude, longitude, like XX, XXX, YY, YYY. And I can show you how to easily get that from Google. So as long as you can pinpoint it on a map, or if you already have those coordinates, we can use those for directions within the app.
Great. I'm browsing through here. We've still got about 5 more minutes. Does anybody else have any other questions? Use the chat if you saw one that we missed, and just let us know where to find that. We talked about the alert when a user collects all of their badges. Right now, we don't have that capability, but perhaps in our badges update that we'll be releasing here in the coming months, that would be something that's really fun to do. So I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the clients that are currently using badges right now also offer some sort of physical prize that you can redeem on site. So right now, they just do that by going to the Visitor Experience Center and showing their badges page to somebody who would then give them the prize. You could do something like take a screenshot of your badges page and email it to this address, and maybe you'll mail something out, or maybe they'll get a coupon via email, a coupon code for the gift shop or something like that. So there's a bunch of fun ways you can come up with to kind of incentivize it, and that's going to be largely dependent on your resources and your on-site experience on how you would kind of confirm that they've earned all those badges, and how you would, give out those incentives or those prizes.
We have a couple more questions. So in regards to the 2-column list widget, those would be beneficial also if you just had a really large list. And instead of having one very long list, you could have them side by side. And then, of course, the next and previous. For the trails, for Alex's question, you can send push notifications. Right now, we haven't finished up the geolocation. It is something on our radar. So I'm assuming next year we should have that in 2019. But and we'll try to release something when that does come out, because I know that's requested a lot. And then I think there's another question, but it's cut off on my thing. I don't know if Allison and Josh, if you could read that.
Was this under questions or chat?
Under questions. It says, in what ways can we see and then my question cuts off, of the visitor analytics section. Oh, heat maps. So we don't have those right now. I think we're still working on pulling in new resources from the analytics service we're using now. And I'll pass that on. I think that's something that they've discussed also, but I don't know where that is or if that will be available.
And did anybody see the question from Alex about geolocation-based push messages? So I can touch on that. So currently, we do not have in our push notifications in our messages center the ability to target a user based on geolocation, but it is in development, so it's something that's going to be available soon. So that'll be fun. You can actually send out a push notification, set a radius around it, and only target users who are in a particular location instead of everyone that has the app downloaded. So we can be in touch when that feature is available. That's coming soon. And then Eva's question about in-app directions. Did we get to that one?
I think so.
Okay. So they're not on Google Maps.
Oh yeah, I answered that one.
Okay, great, thanks, Alora.
And Paige, which feature were you asking about the arrival of?
Oh, is that for the geolocation, the geolocated push notifications? if that was, since that was the last thing I think we were talking about, we don't have an estimated time on when that's going to be available. I would love to see it by the end of the year, but I can't make that guarantee. But in the coming months, that should be released. And Paige, one of us can definitely follow up. We can check with our developers and see what the schedule is for the release of that feature and let you know once we do have an ETA, we can get that information for you.
And we'll also be sending out our end of year survey soon. So if there's anything that you see that you want more of, or features that you want to see, or things that you think could be improved upon, we always like to have that feedback too.
And I see a lot of interest in app promotion. So, we'll follow up with you guys individually and talk about, what we can do to increase traffic. But I think that that's also a great webinar. I think we're going to try to do these monthly. So if you guys really enjoyed the webinar, let us know. Let us know what other topics that you want to see. I think we'd like to do a future webinar on gaming. So just all about creating a game experience, starting from the very beginning. And then I think marketing the app and promoting it is definitely another popular topic that I think we can spend 30 minutes really diving into. But if there's anything else you want to see, please reach out to us. Give us a call, send us an email. We really hope you enjoyed the webinar, and yeah, we'll be in touch with more, and hopefully you guys enjoy all of these new features and updates that we've made to the builder. And I think we will be signing off. We're at 31 minutes. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.